Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Mean Streets. And this movie came out in 1973 and is directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and I enjoyed this movie overall. I thought it was decent, and this movie's greatest strengths is that me appreciating how it was made and just knowing some background information about this movie and that on top of some things going on in the movie, this movie has style and it feels like a Scorsese movie and it has all of that in it, and that's most of what I get out of the movie. And I really enjoyed the first 45 minutes of the film. I think that's when the movie is at its best, that and the last 10 minutes. That stuff is great, but everything in between I just didn't really care for, mostly because this movie started to get really repetitive for me, and it was just the same thing happening over and over again. I didn't feel as though the story was progressing at all, and I was just thinking to myself, get on with it, because it is kind of a slow movie, and I do feel as though this movie could have been shorter. And as far as the characters are concerned, I didn't really care too much, simply because I didn't really find them all that interesting. But I did think this movie had some really good performances, like Robert De Niro, he was great, and I enjoyed Harvey Keitel as well. And although I criticized the characters for not being interesting, some of the characters I do like, and there's some moments that were memorable to me, and there was lots of character to some of these characters, and there's lots to interpret from the film and that you can probably get out of. But overall, it just felt like American Graffiti and Do the Right Thing, like one of those kind of movies. It's a hangout movie where it's not really about the story, it's more about you gain a sense of the environment and it feeling authentic to you. And if it does, great, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. This movie's either going to work for you or it's not. And for me, it did, but I don't know if I would ever watch this movie again, because there's not anything in the movie that I'm rushing back to. It's just, that was good, but it's not all that memorable for me. I did like the soundtrack choices, and I found them to be catchy and memorable, and the movie is well shot overall. And I did like the minimalist approach to this movie, because from what I know about it, it's set in New York, but it was pretty much all shot in LA, and there's no establishing shots in the entire movie, because had they done that, then you could tell that it wasn't New York, it was LA, which I find to be kind of interesting. And for the most part, it does feel like you're in a big city, for sure. You're not in a random country or whatever, or a small town or whatever. You actually feel like you're in a city full of people, and the city kind of has character to it, and that makes it kind of interesting. And I really don't have too much to talk about with this movie, other than I loved the ending. I thought it ended strong, even if there were some things that I found to be kind of stupid, but it was memorable and I was engaged because it was something big happening. And for a big chunk of the movie, after that first 45 minutes, I was kind of checked out and just waiting for something to happen. And it did get to that point where you got a payoff, but I just wish that there was more to the rest of the movie instead of it just riding on the ending being really strong. And that's pretty much where my big criticism comes in, is that I wish that more was there for me to chew on, instead of just, yeah, that was well done, but not really memorable to me. So who knows, maybe you'll feel different about it than I. This is just how I feel, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it in the comments below. But I just don't have anything else to say about this movie. It was good. I'm glad I watched it, but I'm probably never going to watch it again. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Mean Streets a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Mean Streets, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Hook. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.